if you let the past in your new reality, in today, if you let the past into your life, it will keep coming back until you finally let go. But how to actually let go of your past? I mean, your past is a part of who you are today. So it means that technically it is a part of you. You don't really let go of your past, rather you accept it. Because you wouldn't be the person you are today if it wasn't for your past. You wouldn't be here today if you didn't do all of the small things you did in the past. Even buying that ice cream from that shop. If you hadn't bought that ice cream, I bet you would not have gone down that street. I bet you wouldn't have missed your bus that other time, which led you to meeting the love of your life, or which led you to meeting the best group of friends you've ever had, which led you to being courageous enough to perform in front of other people, which led you to do performances, which led you to an artist. These are just some small examples of how the butterfly effect can lead you to make better decisions tomorrow. I believe that the decisions you make today do shape your tomorrow, but you also don't have to let the past define who you are, and you can start making better decisions every day. I've just grown so much as a person that the past me and the present me can't be compared, which means that it is actually a positive thing that I am the way I am today, and I wouldn't repeat my mistakes of the past again. But I also wouldn't take any of them back, because it would not have led me to make YouTube videos today. Life is so beautiful, and you have so many options to truly evolve and not be the person you were yesterday, which means that you cannot put yourself down for being the person you were yesterday. Because if you are a better person today, that means congratulations, the you of today has evolved. You wouldn't be in this evolved state if you didn't go through what you did, if you didn't make the decisions that you did. Making decisions in life is always hard, no matter what position you're in. If you're in school or if you're a CEO, it's the same. We are still all wired the same as people. We are just people, and we have neural pathways that we have created in life. And although a 13-year-old and a 30-year-old would probably not make the same decision in certain situations, the 30-year-old once was the 13-year-old. So they are actually the same. The 13-year-old still lives within the 30-year-old, which means that you can never say that the things you did in the past were a mistake by any means, because you wouldn't be the person you are today without them. And it is better to learn from other people's mistakes, but oftentimes in life, we don't. We simply don't. You simply cannot learn from someone else's mistake, because you're like, yes, but I would feel so much better making the same mistake. I wouldn't put myself down for making the same mistake. I would act completely differently, but you don't know that until you are in that situation. So that is why we oftentimes do make our own mistakes in life, because we think that we would act differently or better. But what I've learned in my 23 years is it is better to take advice from your own higher self. So if you think about the future you, and you think about if they would make a decision in the present, right now, like looking back, would they regret this decision or not? And that is how I now make decisions in my life. I'm thinking about my future self and thinking about if she would regret it. Not that I have a lot of regret in my life. I used to, but now I am simply accepting that that is my past, and I wouldn't be as wise or as open or as talkative or as kind as I am today if I hadn't made those mistakes or decisions. When making decisions, think about your future self. For the people who don't want to get better and evolve in life, I think that's just because you're scared of your own traumas. You are scared that when you open the Pandora's box, then you can never close it. So it's best to leave that little box on your shelf, waiting until you're like 80 years old to finally open it and be like, wow, I wish I did things differently in my life. I wish I was more kind. I wish I opened up to more people so that I could find the people that I'm meant to find in life. I wish I did my hobbies that I really loved and I continued with them, because now I regret that I haven't done anything meaningful to myself. There are so many things that are inside that Pandora's box, and I've opened it a couple of times, and I can tell you, once you open that box, you cannot close it. It is truly like a magical box that you open that's filled with all your emotions and traumas and your past and your present, and perhaps even some thoughts about your future. And it hurts to look back at your past, your decisions. Name one person that has never wished that they'd done something differently in their life. I bet we all have. It might be the smallest thing. For example, wishing you didn't drop that ice cream on the ground and now having to buy a new ice cream or whatnot. It doesn't have to be a big, meaningful thing, but we've all regretted things in our life. When you finally come to the threshold of having enough and just feeling like there's no way I can carry this burden on alone, and opening that box, you feel so much better. Once you open the box and go through all the stuff that's inside, all the trauma, all the pain, all the past memories that I'm going through right now, at the same time, it's such a beautiful experience to still accept yourself and accept the mistakes that you made and just be there for yourself, because no one else can help you, not even your therapist. I suggest to go to therapy, of course, because that can help, because the therapist is a reflector, basically. They're reflecting things back to you. But ultimately, if you don't want to get better, you won't. You have to want to get better. And I'm at a state where I want to get better. So I'm allowing myself to feel these things. I'm allowing myself to be in the pain and in the hurt and leave that box open and see what's inside. And there are days when I feel like I truly am nothing, where I feel like, is there any point to this that I'm doing at all? Most days, I'm truly happy with the person I am. And I recognize that even though all the pain and hurt that I've experienced in my life has been traumatizing, then I'm here today and I get to experience life. If the whole meaning of my life would be to suffer, then I would have already died, because I believe that once you find kind of the meaning to your life and you pursue it and you fulfill out the destiny that's yours, then you most likely go to the other side. And if the whole meaning of my life would be to suffer, then I would have already gone to the other side. I would not be here today. Do you understand? So I'm still alive. For some reason, I'm still alive. Life keeps me alive, and I get to wake up every day and experience the world and look at the trees and the sun and the plants and the bugs and the birds and the pets and the people and the buses and the cars and the buildings and everything. I get to experience so much within one day, and that means that the purpose of my life has not been carried out yet. So there must be a reason that I'm still here, and it is my job to search for that reason. Not because I have to or it's a commitment, but because I truly want to find out the meaning of my own life. I want to find out why am I here, if not for the suffering and for the pain. Because I believe that you are not here for the suffering and pain either. You are here to experience something great, something powerful, something beautiful. if you're here today, you are meant to be here today. You're meant to do something with your life that is impactful, because community is the greatest thing we have as humans. It is the basis of our whole existence, is community. The cavemen that were before us, they would not have survived without a community. Alone, they would have all been wiped out, but together they were stronger, and they created a community because they had different skills that added to the community and allowed them to survive. And I want to pursue my life in a way where I am adding to the world. I'm adding to the community of the world. And I think that a part of that is accepting your past and just being like, okay, I did go through hurt and I did go through pain and I went through some horrible things and I made choices that I wouldn't, and I messed up and I learned from it. But the greatest thing is that I accept that I did those things, and for whatever reason I'm still here today. So that means that I must have a reason to go on, and I accept myself fully for who I am, because I wouldn't be the person I am today if it weren't for those decisions. Yes, they weren't the greatest, but they were my decisions, my experiences, my lessons. Everything you go through is a lesson, and it is your job to take the lesson or not. If you don't open the Pandora's box, you're never going to learn those lessons. So if you're too afraid to open that little box that's sitting on your shelf, full of your fears, traumas, past, whatever, then go open it right now and just take a small peek inside. You also have the power to close it if you really want to. I know I said, like, once you open it, it's opened. Yes, that's true. You cannot go back to not seeing once you see the things that I'm talking about. Once you are on this, like, I wouldn't say spiritual path, because it isn't always spiritual. It's just like more of a mental. And once you are on this mental path of analyzing your life, then you kind of can't unanalyze it. Because sometimes when I see people do things, for example, one of the people that I know was very irritated over something very small, and I immediately understood where it comes from. And it's so funny, once you start analyzing these things, you can't kind of unsee it. I've tried to unsee it and it did not work. I've tried to unsee it with all the power that I had. There's no way, there's no chance that you're going to unsee it. But if you don't want to analyze things, see that, then you can also just take a small peek into the Pandora's box to see what lies there, if you're ready to open it. And if you're not, then don't, because I also have things that I haven't addressed within myself, that I'm too scared to address, because I know I'm not ready to deal with these things yet. But one day I will be ready and I will deal with them. I know that for a fact. So until then, I'm keeping them on the shelf and sometimes taking a little peek at them to see what am I ready to deal with and what not. And to my surprise, a lot of the times when I look at my past and I look at my things that I've done and my traumas, then I actually am already ready to deal with them. I just haven't acknowledged it yet to myself consciously, but unconsciously I'm there. So you're actually ready to handle all the traumas that you have. You just need to be brave enough to try and open the box. And yeah, I just hope you got some insight out of this. And if you're ready for more discussions like this and to analyze your own feelings, subscribe to my channel and come see my next videos. Love you. Have an awesome day. See you soon.